for somebody on the other side that is a small business owner, what's the things that they should be thinking about setting it up so that they can exit rich?
Well, they really need to start with what I call the end of mind. Like Stephen Covey says, start with the end of mind. They need to build what I call the STGPS exit model. Nobody does this. I've met with thousands upon thousands of business owners, and I think I've met one business owner that actually does this. So start with the end of mind. Determine what your desired sales price is. Pick a number. A lot of business owners get hung up on the number, but they need to just pick a number. Let's say you want to sell for $20 million. Great. When you go to drive somewhere, what's the first thing you do? You pull out your phone, you go to Google Maps, you plug in your destination, right?
Yeah,
Most
sure.
business owners don't have a destination. They don't know where they're driving to. So they end up driving in circles, driving up and down the financial hills to end up nowhere. So the first clue is to pick a number, say $20 million. Then next in the GPS exit model, you need to know where you're starting from. What's your current location? In other words, what's your current valuation? What is your business worth today? Now, Nick, most business owners have never gotten a business valuation. They have no idea what their business is worth. We go to the doctor once a year to make sure our heart's still ticking and we're still kicking. We take our car to the mechanic to get a tune-up, an annual tune-up, but we never get an annual business valuation checkup. So you should always know what your business is worth every year, because there are events that increase valuation and there are events that decrease in evaluation, like this pandemic is a perfect example
Yeah.
of that. So let's say your business is worth $5 million. You want to sell for 20, it's worth 5. Now you need to know time frame. What time frame? Let's say you want to sell in 10 years. Now we have a start of what I call a plan. Business owners don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. So then the next thing you need to know are, who are my buyers going to be? Now, notice I said buyers, not buyer. I have clients that come to me all the time and say, Michelle, I have the buyer. You just need to represent me with this buyer. And I'm like, no, we're not going to do that, because in all likelihood, this buyer will not close on the sale of your business. So therefore, you need backup buyers. Plus, how do you maximize value if you have one buyer? How do you create a bidding war if you have one buyer? So there's 5 types of buyers. 90% of buyers are first-time buyers. They don't buy multi-million-dollar companies. They buy small businesses. Then you have turnaround specialists that buy distressed assets. Third type of buyer is PEGs, private equity groups. They buy based on platforms and add-ons. They look at EBITDA of over $3 million. They will not consider a platform for less than $3 million in EBITDA. And then you have strategics and competitors. Strategics and competitors will typically pay the highest price for synergies.
And the last one?
And the last one is sophisticated serial entrepreneurs are industry agnostic and chase EBITDA. They chase cash flow. EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization. So then you have to determine, okay, now that I know who my 3 buyers are going to be, private equity, strategics, sophisticated entrepreneurs, where do the numbers have to be? If I want to sell my business for $20 million, what does the gross revenues have to be? More importantly, where does the EBITDA need to be? So the EBITDA is going to have to be between $3 to $5 million, depending upon the synergies. And then you need to know, what synergies are these buyers looking for? And you build your business to meet their specific criteria. Make sense?
It does. So my question would be, I like how you said that you should be getting an evaluation of your company every year. I think that's super smart. And you're right. People go to the doctor once or probably more than once a year, but they definitely don't get their business evaluated once a year. And I also think if you're doing that, and then say you have an idea like, I want to sell my business in 6 or 7 years, like, when is it ever too early to start thinking about selling your business?
It's never too early, because here's the deal. You want to plan a bit, you want to build a business that somebody actually wants to buy. The reason that 80% of businesses don't sell is because buyers don't want what you have.
Yeah.
The business owners haven't built a business that's sellable. So you got to look at, what are buyers looking for? What are buyers willing to pay top dollar for? What makes a buyer pull a trigger? What makes a buyer buy this business instead of buying this business? Right.
Yeah.
And then you got to build that business on what I call the infrastructure, utilizing what I call the ST6 Ps that we talk about in my book, Exit Rich.